Hello and welcome to Shows to Astonish. I am your host, the Fat Mantis, and today I'm going to be reviewing Season 2, Episode 4 of The Mandalorian, entitled The Siege, and it is directed none other by Carl, Grief Karga himself, Weathers. And it was a fun, action-packed episode that had tidbits of Star Wars theory and mythology and plot points in it, and we're going to dissect every little bit of it. And we're going to start for this adorable scene when a single dad decides to shove his infant child into a small vent to do electrician work. So this is an example of what happens when you're a single father and you don't have a wife to bounce ideas against, right? So, you know, if he was married, he'd be in a situation where he's like, I'm gonna shove Baby Yoda down there and he's gonna rewire the ship. And the wife would say, no, you're freaking not. So he doesn't have that, so he makes that little mistake. And I'm sure he thought that Baby Yoda, adorably electrocuting himself, builds character. That's the kind of guy that Mando is, and I kind of respect that, although I might not have put Baby Yoda down there. So then we cut off to Navarro, where the Mandalorians used to hide, where their coven used to hide down in the sewers. And a group of Aqualish thieves have set up shop there. And Cara Dune, my wife, returns to kick some butt. Apparently she's become sheriff of the town, and she's she's here to end their thieving campaign. She goes in there. We actually get to see her pull off some Gaido Jitsu moves. That's right, that wasn't BJJ. She, like me, understands that BJJ is overrated. If you don't disagree, fight me in the comments. So she saves the day. She comes down in time for Mando to come land there. They find that times are changing in Navarro. It really mimics the Western idea of an outpost town or city. There's no real organized government, and they have to make do with what they can. Now, the bounty hunting apparently has stopped, and the Bounty Hunters Guild has now been turned into a school, which opens a segue for Baby Yoda's next adorable shenanigans, where he actually uses the Force to steal a packet of blue macaroons from a fellow student. That's right, there are macaroons even in outer space. We also see the return of Mithril. That's the blue-skinned guy from the first episode ever. He's interjected to be the alien fun and games comic relief guy. I don't love him. I feel like he's a waste. I hate that he kind of stole lines from the other cast, and I would rather see Grief Karga and Cara Dune have more lines than hand them over to him. But, you know, he serves as fun, and they have a mission to go to get rid of the rest of the Imperials that are in there, and they're hiding in some sort of base. Now, this becomes a normal, typical, like I said, it goes along the lines of a D&D or a role-playing game where the characters all get together, they get their weapons, they're going room to room, murdering and causing havoc, and it causes for some great action sequences. Now, they are eventually able to inject some plot into it, and I loved it, because it's causing all these questions on the internet and straight-up debates. So, when they get into one of the rooms, which has a bunch of Imperial scientists, and if you notice, they have the Kaminoan cloning badge on their arms. They have the same thing that the Kaminoan cloners had. They are shot dead, but they were trying to wipe their computer records in there. Now, in there, they actually find tanks of bodies, deformed bodies, in a blue liquid, and it looks like they've been doing experiments on these people. And it becomes clear when they're checking the things that what it is they've been trying to find a way to successfully do a blood transfusion from Baby Yoda, which they got in Season 1, the blood, into other humanoid recipients to try to increase their M count, meaning they're trying to give them Force-sensitive abilities. Now, if you look at the actual deformed corpses, they look like someone we already know. And that's Snoke. Now, there are some on the internet deniers of this. They cannot believe that the plot line is going to be the origins of Snoke. However, the proof is in the pudding. That really does look like the deformities that Snoke went through, and it is possible that Snoke is a normal person, possibly a politician or whatever, who's playing both sides, who eventually will get injected with this experiment successfully. It will deform him, but make him the most powerful Force user around. I think that we're in store for that. That's what it's hinting at, and we'll see where it goes. I can't wait to follow this thread. And so finally, it moves into the next part of our thing that the series does so well, and it's action. you know, they give us a little bit of plot, but they are experts at giving us action, and that's what they do. Remember, episode 1 had the crate dragon sequence at the end of it. The episode after that had the ice spiders. The episode after that had the, you know, the taking of the starship, of the Imperial starship. And now here is a complete chase scene where they're in a armored personnel carrier going down a valley, being chased by both TIE fighters and speeders, and it was so much fun. It takes up a chunk of the episode, but it's just a good time, and it's where this series excels at. I think a lot of people complain about the series, that they're not getting enough plot or enough drama in it. However, they give us high-budget action sci-fi that you're not going to get on any other TV show. It's movie-quality stuff we're watching here. So I don't know why people are complaining, but nowadays we live in the age of complainery. Just get into it, man, because I'm telling you, it is awesome. So finally, we move into, and really this whole series thing is all about Act 5. This is an Act 5 type of episode. So what happens? But the Republic's there trying to investigate what's going on. And the first thing is one of these starfighter pilots, you know, an X-Wing pilot, he goes up to Cara June and he's talking about how he knows she used to be in the rebellion back in the day. He knows she's an Alderaanian. We have a few character moments where she mourns for her lost family, whoever they are, and he invites her back to the Republic. He basically has said, hey kid, I like your steez, we could really use you. And he gives her some sort of badge or some sort of, basically it is an invitation to return and make a difference. And you could tell she's actually pondering it. Now I love Cara Dune. One of the problems with the show is there's not enough feminine energy. And I really wish she would stay with Mando. I wish she would go and adventure with him instead of her being only appearing every couple of episodes. I think she's a huge strength of it. I love Gina Carano as a human. So I think we need to see more of her. And I understand they're going to put her on a different plot line. We're going to have other episodes where she's doing her Republic thing and he's doing his Mando thing. And I just kind of wish they could just come together and be one, you know. Like I said, Baby Yoda needs a mom. So there's that. But then we move on and we find out that some of the alien workers who were repairing his ship earlier in the episode turn out to be working or getting paid off by the warlords of the Imperial Remnant, primarily Moff Gideon. So we see he has a very small, like one of the smaller Star Destroyers there. Probably couldn't even be called a destroyer. But he has apparently some amount of fleet of ships as he's hiding out in the Outer Rim. And so not only can he track Mando wherever he is, but he maniacally does his mustache twirling thing in a room which appears to be filled with Dark Troopers. Now, what are Dark Troopers? Now, depending on which expanded universe thing you're looking at, they are either robots or cyborgs. Super soldiers, if you will, of stormtroopers. More competent, more deadly. And it looks like it's straight out of the old expanded universe. Now, as we all know, when Disney bought Star Wars, they disbanded, they decanonized everything in the expanded universe. So Dark Troopers aren't a thing, but that's what I like about these extra projects. Anything they like from the old expanded universe, they can now confirm. They're like, we're going to keep this, and what they're apparently choosing are Dark Troopers. Now, I think they're from a video game and also from a comic book series, which is fine. You know, that's even lesser canon than the novels, but it'll be interesting to see how this is. And this is just a formula to create even more action sequences for Mando and Baby Yoda to get into, so that is very exciting. So I really, really enjoyed this episode. I'm actually going to give it a 90, particularly because of all this plot. I can't wait to see where this goes in terms of like the rise of the First Order, but also the Snoke connection. I am sure he's a character we're going to see down the line. I'm hoping we see other characters in it, like the Jedi killer, the Jedi hunter, that we only see his bones in Rise of the Skywalker, or Lor Santeca, who was an Alderaanian man. I really hope they appear, but Snoke is a must for future episodes. What did you think of this episode? What do you think of all this action? What do you think of the Snoke Connect? And what do you think? Are those Dark Troopers, or is this something I'm missing in Star Wars lore? Please let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and keep tuning in to Voice of the Fat Mantis for fun shenanigans, Star Wars reviews, science fiction deep dives, and an amazing December that we're going to have, because I promise you, I've been light on the videos, but Christmas time is going to be video. I'm going to give you the gifts of video-ness. Until next time, ciao for now.